Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice Pacers. The Pacers, their first game out of the All-Star break. The Pacers do win. They improve on the season now to a record of 32-25. They defeat the Detroit Pistons by a score of 129-115. The Pacers take care of business, pretty much in control from start to finish. So let's dive right into it, guys. So the Pacers in that first half, especially, really were absolutely dominant. I mean, they scored 42 points in the first quarter alone. They had 72 by halftime. And then at the end of it, they end with 129. So the Pacers pretty much from the beginning were in control of this game. I know it was a little bit of a scary thing in that third quarter where the Pistons made things a little bit interesting. They outscored the Pacers by 15 to cut it down a little bit more to actually just a 14-point game because at one point the Pacers were up by 30 plus. But regardless, the Pacers and the Pistons in that second half or in that fourth quarter, the Pacers matched the Pistons in points, and ultimately that was the difference in this game. So the Pacers come into this, obviously a win that the Pacers needed to have. We know how much they've struggled to take care of some of these bottom-of-the-barrel teams, and obviously Detroit is the bottom of the barrel with the worst record in the NBA, but the Pacers were able to take care of business pretty handedly. Obviously you don't really like how that third quarter went for you, but pretty much everything else for the Pacers really just was a dominant game for them. Started off really dominant, got a little bit dicey in that third quarter, but then at the end of things, the Pacers were able to take care of business and win pretty handedly in this game. So without further ado, let's dive right into some of the stats in this game. So the Pacers overall in this game, I mean, when you look at it overall, actually interesting enough, the Pacers and the Pistons both shot 53%. The Pacers had 5 more attempts shooting the basketball. The Pacers were a little bit better. They outshot them in the three-point game. They shot from 43%. The thing that the Pacers really did a lot better than the Pistons in this game, and it hasn't been a trend from them recently, or it seems like for a while now, the Pacers were very good at their free throw attempts. They were 84%, 16 of 19 from free throw line. The Pacers also won the turnover battle by 2. They had 9 more assists than the Pistons did. The rebound game was pretty even, although the Pacers edged them out by 1. Pacers had 10 steals. And overall, when you look at this game, I mean, the Pacers were just on this tear in this game. And so some scores for the Detroit Pistons in this game. Cade Cunningham was their leading scorer with 30 points. You also had Duran with 15. You had Ivy with 14. Faciano with 14. And Thompson with 11. That was their 5 starters. And then, of course, a couple guys off the bench. You had Evan Fournier with 10 points. You had Sasser with 9 points. You had Wiseman with 6 points and 5 rebounds. And overall, besides really Fournier and Sasser, nobody else really did a lot scoring the basketball for the Detroit Pistons. Now, when you flip it over to the Indiana side, it seemed like they had a lot of contributions from a lot of different guys shooting the basketball tonight. Of course, Benedict Mathurin stepping in without Aaron Nesmith in this game. He finished with 15 points, 6 rebounds. Of course, Tyrese Halliburton, back from, seems like he's fully back to his minutes. He had 25 points in 34 minutes and 13 assists, so a nice double-double for him. Of course, Pascal Siakam, 20 points in this game. Miles Turner, 13 and 11 rebounds, so a double-double for him. Andrew Nembhard had 8 points, 6 assists, or 6 rebounds and 5 assists, so a pretty well-rounded stat sheet for him. And then, of course, a couple guys off the bench. TJ McConnell was phenomenal tonight shooting the basketball, 7 of 11 overall, and hit on both of his three-point attempts. He attempted 2. He made 2. Obi Toppin had a pretty nice game. In 16 minutes, he had 9 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Ben Shepherd on 15 minutes, 7 points, 1 rebound. Doug McDermott, even though he only attempted 3 shots, he did make a clutch 3 early in that game. So that was good. Isaiah Jackson, 13 points. So the Pacers, while it definitely seemed like at times you looked at some of the starters overall, and they looked really, really good. The Pacers, I feel like just overall, the real difference tonight was their bench. And that was something that we said the Pacers needed to have, right? They needed their bench to step up in a big way, especially a guy like Benedict Mathurin. Great to see him, in the starting lineup. Of course, he was really, really looking good when it came to that All-Star game. And so great to see him getting some quality minutes there. Actually had the most minutes out of anybody on the team tonight with 35. And so overall, guys, the Pacers get a nice win here. They do exactly what they need to do in a game like this against an opponent that they should have beat, probably by a lot more, to be honest with you. But still, winning by 14, you're never going to complain about that. And again, the Pacers, like we said earlier, they have a very favorable schedule coming up. They have a couple teams that are going to be a little tough, but they have a lot of winnable games, just like this one against the Detroit Pistons. And so the question will be, can the Pacers take care of business against some of these bottom-of-the-barrel type of teams? It'll be interesting to see, can they do it? Definitely a good first step tonight for the Pacers to be able to basically do what good teams need to do and, beat on some of these bad teams. And so I think you need a little bit more consistency from quarter one, quarter two, and quarter three, and quarter four. But again, overall, when you look at it, you can never complain about a double-digit win for the Pacers. And so, like I said earlier, the Pacers continue to help their playoff chances with a win like this. And that's definitely a great thing. And the Pacers move now record-wise to 32-25 on the season. So, guys, let me know your overall thoughts here on the Pacers win tonight against the Detroit Pistons. If you haven't already, be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you know when I drop, or when Derek, or when we both drop fresh content just like this. But that'll do it for this one, guys. A lot of cool games coming up for the Pacers. We'll see how they handle it, but 1-0 after the All-Star break, definitely a great thing. But that'll do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, guys, go Pacers.